paint, and then I just set it with eyeshadow the same color as that, and it tends to stay on really well. I know a lot of the homestuckers do swear by the alcohol-based paint, because here's how makeup works. Whatever it's based in dissolves it. So if this is why a lot of your makeup is like waterproof, is because it's like oil-based. But when you put your olive oil or baby oil or whatever you use to take it off, it just crumbles. Because the like combines with the like, and they like each other, and then they just melt off your face. So if you got water-based makeup on your face, which is what a lot of Halloween store makeup is, you start sweating, and then it just runs down your face. But I've had good luck with just using ordinary makeup primer and setting it with powder, so that absorbs most of my face sweat. Gross, huh? And also, if you are doing anything with spirit gum is a wonderful, wonderful thing. I would highly recommend the spirit gum remover. I have not ever bought spirit gum remover, but every time I put my spirit gum ears on, because I go as an alien, essentially we can call me Spock because there's these little pointy ears. And I put them on, and then when I take them off at the end of the day, my ears are sticky for like 3 days after. I cannot find anything that dissolves the spirit gum off of my ears because you can take it off your ear. So you just got like this little gummy feeling, and it's like a sticky toddler hand. You understand what I mean? Little toddler hand, and it touches you, and
it just feels gross. You
yes.
go take a shower.
Yes, that's basically what it is. All right. And if we can do the found object cosplay, basically being a hermit crab, we can also do the modified cosplay, which is taking clothes you already own and essentially cutting them up, painting on them, dyeing them with fabric paint, or I've actually heard someone who dyed their fabric with food coloring, which I think is a really dumb thing. I'm sure it was expensive, but they didn't have any fabric stuff, and that seemed to work. So if you actually feel like creating something that's going to last, because sadly your makeup does not last, you need to take it off at the end of the day or you're going to get acne and your skin is going to hate you. You can modify pre-made clothing, as I talked about with this. You could have put it shorter and got that. The most common is probably the right word, to do with modified cosplay is like the Pokemon or Digimon kids. Do we all know who Pokemon and Digimon kids are, like the trainer designs? And I see you cracking up over there, you know what I'm talking about. Essentially, they wear normal clothes. I mean, their normal clothes are like bright red pants and giant sneakers and, you know, colors that most people do not wear together. But you can usually go to the thrift store and get some pants close enough to that red color and dye them, or if you're lucky, you get the red color. And let's say you need red capris and they only have red pants. You got scissors and you can cut them. There's nothing wrong with that. And you can either leave the ends like ragged like that because no one cares, or you can take your hot glue and turn it up and pretend you sewed it. Because there's nothing wrong with pretending, because we're pretending to be cartoon characters, and that's what this panel is about. So, also another thing to do would be like Mystique from X-Men. I'm not telling you guys to run around naked in body paint. Why not? Because usually con staff says it's inappropriate, that's why not. But like you could get like a neck-high blue bodysuit and paint your face the correct color and then take your fabric paint and paint on all her scales. That would be one way to modify a costume, and that would get pretty cool looking Mystique. And I mean, con staff is not going to kick you out for being naked in public. You're just like, I'm pretending to be naked in public. I've also seen one of my friends do Clear from Dramatical Murder. I probably should not be mentioning Dramatical Murder in like the family friendly panel, but there's like this little lacy apron that the character wears, and she did not have a lacy apron, she just had a normal one, and she just kind of glued all the lace on it. So, glue, that's a great thing to use. I also have this one friend. This is where I really wish I had my pictures because he's an amazing dude. He mainly does armor and prop-based costumes, and for what the little he does with fabric, he usually hot glues together. It's And you would never know the difference because you're not looking that close. But with the armor and prop-based costumes, I'm going to say that they take the highest level of skill. Particularly just because I'm not very good at them. I mean, so I suppose someone out there would probably say sewing would take the highest level of skill because they were bad at sewing. I'm not the greatest at that. So we all have our strengths and our weaknesses, and that's what cosplay without sewing skills is about. Because not everyone's good at sewing, not everyone's good at prop making, and not everyone's good at doing their makeup. So this is why it's important to have friends who will teach you, because it's fun to learn new things, and they're not always going to be around to do it for you. That's what I like. But he did, basically how he does armor is he takes the Ava floor foam boards, you know, the big puzzle piece mats you stick in children's rooms on the floor that are all soft that they can play on and not hurt anything with. He takes those, basically does a pepakura. You guys know what a pepakura is? Raise your- Do you remember those things you got in grade school that you cut out the paper pieces to glue them into a 3D shape? That's essentially what he does with the armor. And sometimes he coats it in Bondo, which is basically car filler, and then he sands it smooth, which takes a lot of work. But when he doesn't feel like doing that for armor, sometimes he also just covers it in vinyl, because the vinyl is a nice, shiny, reflective surface. And it's essentially plastic, and people don't know it's a flexible plastic. And actually the nice thing about it when he covers his armor pieces in vinyl is that he can run into somebody and his armor doesn't break. I mean, he doesn't try to run into people, but he's just, when you got armor going out to here, it's in the hallway, it sometimes happens. So there's a lot of different ways to do armor. Also the pink foam, you know, the pink insulation foam from Home Depot, the housing foam. You can also take that and carve things out of that, whatever you need. And some people use Worbla over top of it, which is a thermoplastic. You heat it up, it's a plastic sheet, you heat it up and you mold it over and it gives it a nice hard coating. But Worbla is really expensive, so I never do that. I just take the floor sealant, the polyacrylic floor sealant, you know, you put it on your wood floors so your chairs or your someone's high heels doesn't scuff up the floor. I thought that if it doesn't scuff up the floor, it might not scuff up my prop, so I just kind of lathered that on my prop. And it tends to work for that. So armor and prop-based cosplay is also useful because, you know, if you want to go as Cloud from Final Fantasy, he's going to yell at me because he likes that better. And you don't know how to sew, you can go and thrift store your outfit for your dark blue hair. And your vinyl belt, you can just hot glue that. No, never ever hot glue vinyl. Nothing sticks to vinyl except for vinyl glue. They have special glue for vinyl. It's amazing. I'm sorry. I made an Evangelion pug suit and it just kind of, all my, I am not speaking very well right now. I've caught myself.
Oh no.
Basically, I'm in a stretch vinyl bodysuit and I try to glue some pieces to it and they just kept falling off. And then I discovered such thing as vinyl glue, specifically for vinyl. That attached to that. There are hundreds of different kinds of glues, guys. Once you probably do,
It's easy to switch to the game.
but read the label of your glue, say what it's supposed to stick to, and it probably sticks to those things. But doing things, they fall off. Cloud, Final Fantasy. You can get a jacket that's close enough and cut the sleeve shorter, or I don't remember how the sleeves go. Style your wig, which is an art all in itself, which does not require a sewing machine. And the most important thing is your big freaking suit, because no one's going to care everything else if your suit is just, you know. But the most important thing is that you're happy with whatever you made, because it's a creative outlet, guys. I mean, it's just one of many creative outlets you can have. Some people do music, some people do drawing. I do sewing. There's people who do sculpting, and most of these things can be incorporated into making somehow.
Are you ready to tell you guys?
I just want everyone to know that just because they cannot sew does not mean they cannot make a costume and make it fabulous. So I'm going to do a question and answer section because this one was, yeah. I was slightly